that was combined with an effort to actually bring together all of our operating systems. So if you think about our features like narrator and magnifier, some of our text transformation stuff like high contrast, are going to work the same across all of the device suite. So no matter what device you're going to be using and working on, you'll have the same access to those tools as you would today on the desktop. And the experience would be the same, so it's familiar in all of those places. With that, what I want to start with is I'm going to show a video it's a quick 2-minute video. It's sort of a highlight reel that talks about some of the features that we're looking forward to in Windows. And we'll dive deeper into some of the other features that we think are going to be pretty cool. And then there's going to be some time for Q&A. I think that's probably the most valuable part of our hour today. And I will answer. July. Did I just say June? Yeah. Sorry. It's June today. July 29th. Thank you. Okay, so with that, I'm going to show this first video, and again, my apologies. I'm going to do my best to describe anything that's not apparent through the audio of the video. The next generation of Windows has begun, coming to the biggest device family on one platform with one store. 1.5 billion users.
Windows 10 embodies what our consumer and our enterprise customers are demanding.
The familiar Windows desktop is back. Developer network. The best of Windows 8 mixed with Windows 7 equals Windows 10. Away from the desktop for a moment, I want to talk about HoloLens. So I mentioned it in our meeting this morning. Has anybody seen the trailer for HoloLens or have any familiarity with what that is? I have one person. I'm going to show you a video about this because I think HoloLens is actually one of the most innovative things that we've put together. And I have 2 videos that I want to show because I didn't have the opportunity to show them during our event earlier today. But this really is an example of what we're trying to envision with Windows 10, sort of a new platform for creating new experiences for users. And while the design may be mainstream, the implications for accessibility and for creating new paradigms in which we interact with technology, I think, are somewhat limitless. So I want to show you this video. And again, I'm doing this because for a lot of this stuff, there's no better way to do it than through some of the visuals because they're inherently visual by nature. So I will run this for you.
Look around. Technology is all around us. We use it in every aspect of our lives. It enables us to do amazing things. But what if we could go further? What if we could go beyond the screen? Where your digital world is blended with your real world. Now we can. This is the world with holograms.
The gentleman just put some goggles on.
What will they enable us to do?
Holograms in his living room.
New ways to visualize our work.
I have an idea for the fuel tank.
And with the hologram, she's adjusting the way the tank
New
looks
ways
on
to
the
share
motorcycle.
ideas with each other.
How are things going your end?
I just put the images in OneDrive.
The woman is walking and there's a screen floating in space as she's having a Skype conversation.
More immersive ways to play.
The gentleman is in his living room with Minecraft surrounding him.
New ways to teach and learn.
So put the new trap into place of the old one.
Now what?
And tighten.
A woman using
here
HoloLens
and here.
is fixing a pipe and her dad is on
Ways to
Skype
collaborate
showing her where to put
and
the
explore
pipe.
the places we've never been.
Look at this formation.
And this is a scientist walking on a virtual scene of Mars.
And new ways to create the things we imagine.
The person is using a 3D design studio using a HoloLens to build a rocket ship.
Because when you change the way you see the world, you can change the world you see.
television being projected on the wall.
This is Microsoft HoloLens.
Sorry, the battery just died on the microphone I was using. Oops, let me cancel this here. So, HoloLens, first I just, I want to start with that and just see if there are, oops, pause that. In 3 dimensions, whether that's projecting information on your refrigerator, on your wall, or even on your countertop in your kitchen, and being able to actually interact with those within the space of what you're doing. If you think about the scenario, a wayfinding that gives you indications of how you can interact with your space. So I think there's a whole bunch of opportunities that present themselves with this cool new technology, and so I just think it's a cool way to sort of start off where we're at. So I'm wondering, any questions on that before, I've got a couple in the back. I don't know if the mic is going to go. Are we going to get that wireless back by chance?
She's changing the batteries.
She's changing the batteries, great. If it's possible, if you guys wouldn't mind coming up to the mic so everyone can hear you just until we get, I apologize for the what's that?
Is the HoloLens a standalone device, or does it connect to the work, or is it tethered to a computer?
Yeah, great question. So HoloLens is actually a headset that you'll be able to wear, and it's completely autonomous. So it is its own PC in it. It's got 3D virtualized sound with speakers that are right in front of the ear. So it doesn't occlude your ear, it doesn't cover your ear, but it actually projects sound right in front of your ear. It is a full Windows PC inside of it, but it doesn't require to be tethered to anything. So you'll wear it as sort of a headset. The first reviews that I've seen of the actual prototype hardware have been pretty good, in the sense that it's got an adjustable ring that's actually fairly comfortable to wear. So pinching is like, you can select this way, you can pinch, you can move up and down. There are a number of gestures that you can use to control the device and move through various applications of it. Yes, sir.
So my question is, thinking about the medical field, that would be something that would be perfect for like virtual surgeries for like medical students to, you know, really get up in there. Could it be some use for it with that?
I have another video I could show around this where they talk about some of the opportunity space. And obviously right now we're just trying to build a platform around, we created an actual holographic, they call it an HPU, or a holographic processing unit. So we actually worked with some chip manufacturers to create specific silicon chips that do the processing of all of this holographic transformation. And the goal is to create a platform and do some cool innovation with. I think the medical field obviously has opportunities. The teleconference work has tremendous opportunity. If you can think of assisted services today where someone remotely could see what you see through the lens and annotate. If you think of like when you take notes on a whiteboard, could annotate in your field of view things in your room. Like you could be wearing the headset and looking at me, and someone could be annotating and saying, hey, look at this computer over here, and actually circle it and draw notes so that you could see it right as you were standing there. So I think there's applications for the medical field in that regard. If you think about education, assisted services potentially for the elderly eventually that might need help through specific scenarios. For HoloLens, they're in very limited trials right now that they're working with developers on, and I know at some point in time they'll announce a broader beta availability of that. I'll be honest, I've played with the test hardware that was tethered. Actually, the original prototypes were headsets that you wore with all the sensors, and like literally stuff was like Velcro to itself as they were proving the concept. So I haven't tried the actual hardware yet, but I know they're working. They've got pre-production units that are out there, and I'm not sure how they're what the phased out. What you just asked, yeah, the beta testing group. So at some point, I'm sure they'll announce.
What about like safety? Like I could see me like being in and walking into a wall because like I'm so busy looking at like like even people were texting and they just keep walking, or you know what I mean? Like I would be like looking at whatever. Like would that connect sensor? Would it?
Yeah. Well, so what's interesting is that because the lenses themselves are clear, there's nothing occluding your view, right? It's merely projecting views. So they would be you would see them no differently as you would something that's actually there. So if there's a chair in your way, you'll still see the chair or the objects around you. Now the opportunity here is in cases where if you have low vision and may not be able to see some of those things, having this augmented reality that can sort of paint something over that to increase the contrast or change the color of it is, I think, it's phenomenal, right? So it's such a great opportunity.
So we're talking about accessibility, right?
Hi, there you are.
We're talking about accessibility, so how much would something like this cost, especially in the beginning?
It's a great question, and I don't have an answer to that, and that's not even a company line. They just haven't even told us yet. So I'm going to guess that in the outset, if I had a gut instinct, that it's not going to be cheap, but it'll probably not be much more than what a PC would cost. That's my guess.
I've dealt with a lot of augmented reality in the past. What I'd like to know is what's the battery life going to be like, and how are you going to dissipate the heat?
That's a great question. The first question, I have no idea what the battery life is going to be like. My instinct is that it will never be good enough for what people's expectations are. If you think about how PCs work. So I don't know. I mean, I know they're still trying they're still working on the product, so that's obviously one of the things that they'll be trying to optimize for. To the second question, dissipating heat, it's actually, there's two rings. There's a ring that you wear that sort of is form-fitted to your head, and then there's a gap between it, and then there's a ring that the actual PC device is a part of. And my understanding is that that's vented all the way around, and so because it's something that's sort of sitting out in air, that it vents itself that way. But because it's not, the PC itself isn't resting against your head, you're not going to get that heat transfer to your head. Yeah, a chimney hat, that's a good plan.
Anyone else have any questions?
So one of the other great features that I want to show off is as we've become more and more mobile, we're introducing a feature in Windows 10 called Continuum. Of course, I just skipped past the list here. Wi-Fi is still on. Continuum is an opportunity where we've said devices that we have today function in differing ways, right? So your tablet, if you look at the Surface, your tablet can function as a laptop in the sense that I can set it on the desk and I can use it with a keyboard, or I can actually take it and use it as a tablet. Obviously, you need some of the icons to be a little bit larger. You need the layout maybe to be functionally a little bit different. And what's great about Continuum is it gives you the opportunity to have experiences that are tailored to the way in which you're using it, but you still have access to all of the same desktop applications that you would have normally. So if you're a user of AT, for example, you can move from your laptop mode or desktop mode into tablet mode and still be using the same tools that you would be using in the desktop. And the same goes for phone. So I'll show you this video about Continuum for the phone, and we've done a lot of work into making it possible to take your phone, connect it to a screen, a projector of some kind, whether that's at your house or in your hotel room or to a projector like this, via Bluetooth, connect keyboard and a mouse, and take your phone and actually use it in the same way as you would a Windows desktop PC. And so to give you an example of that, I'll just play this.
And all you have with you is your phone. And your company has touchdown spaces where people can drop in and use a full keyboard, mouse, and screen. You simply connect your phone, and then your Outlook mail experience, which you use on the phone screen all the time, now scales up to be a full PC-like experience. You can use the mouse and keyboard. You'll see all your folders on the left. You see all your messages in the middle. You can preview them on the right, and when you reply, you're using the full power of Word, also built into your phone. All your keyboard shortcuts will work the way you expect. You can get work done very effectively using your phone like a PC. You can also imagine you're on vacation and you're going to connect your phone to the TV screen in your hotel room. Now you have a way to show those vacation photos that you've been taking, or you can use the dual screen capability to let your kids watch a video while you're catching up on your email or text messages, and they're not interrupted. You might wonder about some of the details here. Well, because Windows 10 shares common technology between the PC, the Xbox, and the phone, we have common code that knows how to connect devices wirelessly, like keyboards and mice. So that's already there. And with new parts from Qualcomm, we have processors that can drive two screens separately in these new phone devices. And so that's how we enable the phone screen to work independently from the PC screen. And the whole story comes together because of the universal Windows platform, where software developers, including Excel and Outlook, are writing apps to Windows that can scale from a phone device up to a PC. When you run one of those apps on your phone device with a big screen, it looks and works just like it would on the PC. Other companies have built products kind of like this, but it's not the same. In those cases, you have a phone running phone apps that's docking to a keyboard and mouse, but those phone apps were never designed to work with a mouse, keyboard, and large screen. With the universal Windows platform and Windows 10, software developers are writing their apps for the PC and for the phone. And when those apps, including apps like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, when those apps are run with a mouse and keyboard, they work exactly the way the user would expect. This Continuum for Phones feature requires new special hardware capabilities, which will be built into phone devices that will ship with Windows 10 after it's available this summer. We believe this enables the vision of the phone in your pocket with your data and your apps being able to light up any mouse, keyboard, and screen wherever you go, giving you the full power of a PC experience.
So that gives you an idea of the importance of bringing our app environment together. And again, why this is important and why I bring this up in our session here talking about accessibility is the fact that so we've been doing a lot of work and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the work we're doing for developers, and then I'll actually get into showing some stuff related to actually showing Windows 10 for you, and walk you through the Ease of Access Center and some of the features, how we've sort of updated that. As we know, developers and creating applications that are accessible is equally as important as an operating system that's accessible. And so we've spent some time working on some developer tools to make it easier for developers to know what they need to do in order to create accessible applications. And so the first thing was we've just recently released this Accessibility Developer Hub. And this is just an area where we're trying to consolidate in a very easy way all of the information that you would need as an app developer, a software developer, about building accessible apps on the Windows platform. So we've got some videos that have an introduction to accessibility that describe sort of what, about our modern apps and how to make those accessible. We have an ebook available. We have a number of courses. There are links to our blog. We have platform-specific